Right now, we're living on a very unusual, weird situation where we have to be sacrificing and sometimes giving up our own self interest for the sake of others. But that's not how a normal country should operate. A normal country is a country where a free normal country is that you're actually contributing the most to society when you're actually trying to contribute most to yourself. You know what I mean? So the act of self-interest actually in line with providing for the rest of society. That's how a free society operates. Where when you go and that's the Iran that we want. We want a free Iran where everybody could just focus on just doing the best thing for themselves and their family. And by doing that, they're also producing, because think about it, in a free society, the best way for you to provide for yourself is to create things that other people want. If you don't have corruption, how can you get rich when there's no corruption? If you actually get rid of corruption and government involvement in businesses, what is the best way to get rich? To produce what other people want, to provide the best services and the best goods that other people want. So you only could get ahead by doing the most for other people. We want a society where you could focus on what you want and what your family wants, and in that process, everybody else will benefit as well.
I understand. And then, so I have a small follow up. So, how realistic do you think it is for members of the diaspora to be able to return to Iran and have an impact?
Well, here's the thing: you don't even have to. I mean, I think if you should return, if that is the best thing for you and your family, right? I think one thing that is going to be really good for keeping Iran connected to the rest of the world is having the Iranian diaspora. I think that building a connection with the outside world to Iran is also going to be very valuable. So, countries with a educated, rich diaspora are a bridge between their country and the rest of the world. So we shouldn't under like we should understand the value of that as well. So there's many ways. So you just have to see what works for, like, there is no one answer, one solution for every person. You have to see what your skills are, what makes sense for you. What does that make sense? You don't necessarily have to go back. You have to go back if that's what you desire the most, right? But it makes sense for some Iranians to live outside of Iran, and there are many ways to contribute. You don't have to go back to Iran. Just go back there if it's yeah. Regarding when and how we can do this, I think it really depends on the transition period. So we have to see how that process goes. During the transition period, we might need a lot of Iranians outside of Iran to help from outside, because the transition period is going to require a lot of cooperation with the rest of the world. So again,
Yeah.
sorry if I don't have a specific answer, because I think everybody has to look at their skills, look at their abilities, look at their connections, look at their network. So I think it really depends.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, guys, the best society is where, like, we're Iran is like in wartime condition, right? So we need to think, like, we need to Iranians need to sacrifice because we're in wartime situations. But what we want to be in a situation where people don't have to think about sacrifice. I want to have a normal country where people could think about, having a beautiful, rich life rather than sacrifice. I don't want the Iranians to continue having to sacrifice.
Armin, we have Ezekiel next. However, someone requested, if it's possible, can you please link in the chat the video that you have with the blood drawing?
Oh, okay. I have to tweet it because I just have the picture.
Even sending a link to a picture would be good. It's a very powerful picture.
While Armin does that, just a reminder for everyone, he has about 35 minutes left until the hour. So if anybody has a question that maybe, they can save for another time, or just another easy reminder to watch our time.
So I'm gonna put a caption for it. Iranians write Javid Shah with their own blood in the streets of Iran. Is that a okay caption?
Yeah, very impactful.
Yeah, okay. All right, Ezekiel, you wanted to?
Yes. Hi, I'm new here, so thanks for having me. I'm Ezekiel, or Chezi in Hebrew, and I just wanted to say I think we should all keep in our minds just the level of how close we are to the things that happen and how privileged we are, because for someone in some country where there's almost no consequences for whatever happens in Iran now, it can be very easy to debate the hot questions and just, they have all the time in the world. For people inside Iran with guns aimed at them, it can be completely a different story, a completely different story. For us Israelis, for example, we are much closer to the guys that have no consequence. We may need to run to bomb shelters, and we may lose some buildings, and some people may even get hurt, but that cannot be compared at all to what people in Iran are going through. And I think also Iranians in the diaspora, just the thought that people they know and who didn't contact them for some time, that something might happen to them, we need to think how we would feel in that point. Just to keep that in mind. I'm not saying we shouldn't be debating questions, but we should keep that in mind all the time. That's all. Thanks.
I do want to say though, Jewish people have experienced what we are experiencing in the past 2 weeks for thousands of years, though, right? So they might be in a position right now where they have a amazing army protecting them. I mean, we still did have October 7th, and they're still experiencing still a lot of hate and attacks globally. But we do. I mean, I personally do think that if there's anybody who understands what we're going through right now as the Jewish people, based on the generational trauma that they have gone through, like for thousands of years. So I think if anybody could understand it, it's the Jewish people.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. And I think we also prove the importance of having a very wide diaspora. So that's also a good point you made.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mods don't have to think about always having to be here.
Okay. So 2 points. It's less for you, Armin. It's more for like people here that are from America, from Europe, Australia. I can't stress it enough that there is a general sense of the mentality of the Middle East, and Iranians are not that mentality. Iranians are very strong, very will, but they're also majority, at least, are very liberal, more Western than people think. So I get that many people that come from Western countries, they see all of this and they think, oh, it's going to be like Syria. It's going to be like Iraq. We're going to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. Those are things that I'm hearing all the time. It's not the same. It's not the same because it's a different mentality. The other thing I wanted to say was specifically to talk real quick about the internet thing. I know it's been a while ago. Um, but we already know why uh the regime wanted to turn off the internet specifically. They already did it in 2019, and it worked for them. They killed, some estimate a few hundred, some estimate a few thousand. Definitely not like what it is now, but it stopped. So that was a strategy that worked. And yes, it is completely, the protest, the revolution that is happening today is completely different. It is, we're talking about millions of people on the streets. And then I have the one question for you. A lot in our media, obviously they're talking every day about updates about Iran. Today and yesterday, they're saying that we're estimating that we have intel that estimations that the protests are actually starting to die down and people are actually starting to not show up anymore. A lot still do, but it seems to be dying down, and people are asking if we missed the window for attack.
So the protests are not dying down. We just had a tactical retreat. That's the exact words that Prince Reza Pahlavi has used, right? People have to understand that nobody saw this level of massacre coming, not even from the Iranian side. The number of people that the Islamic Republic killed was above what people understood would happen. So there is a reevaluation of how we need to deal with this, because there's two surprises that happened. First of all, when people showed up after the call to action by Princess of Pahlavi, the number of people who showed up was way above anybody expected. The Iranian people themselves didn't expect as many people to show up. Princess of Pahlavi, I don't think he expected that many people to show up. And the Islamic Republic didn't expect as many people to show up. Everybody was shocked. The understanding was that if the streets get filled with millions of people, that's it. It's game over, because the Islamic Republic will realize, well, I cannot just shoot this many people. Like, I can't just shoot like tens of thousands of people. They will come. They will come and chew at my neck, as we say in Iranian, in Persian. In Persian, we have a saying like, "They will come chew at my neck," right? Like, this is game over. Like, that would be the time that we're like, okay, this is too many. We can't kill this many people, so let's just, like, we have to surrender or something like that, right? But what happened is that apparently what Khomeini had said, we have to listen to him. Khomeini had saying, he says, "Ojab wajibat," which means the highest of all priorities, meaning that the highest of all priorities is for the Islamic rule to continue. And he said that this is so high of a priority that if we have to kill, is it even a higher priority than the Mahdi to come? Meaning that if we have to kill the Mahdi for us to continue Islamic rule, we will even kill the Mahdi, right? So they started shooting at people in a way that not only within the history of Islamic Republic we haven't seen this. We haven't seen this within the history of Iran as a whole. Some people might say like, "Oh, didn't you have the Mongols?" The reason why we haven't had anything like this is because every time we had mass killing, it was on the way of if somebody doing an invasion and taking over. We never had this amount of killings when on the way out. When somebody was being toppled, right? So these people have decided that they were going to do everything and anything possible to stay in power. So Iranian people's understanding was, if we come out in the million, we will win. That's over. But now they realize that this regime is even more monstrous than even we imagined. Like, we knew that they were monstrous, but even us never expected anything like this. So what we have is a tactical retreat, and the reason why the revolution hasn't died is because what the Islamic Republic has done is so unforgivable that the Iranian people have decided that they're willing to pay every price to topple it. And
There's
even
no way back from
people
here
who
now.
weren't part, there's no going back from this. Like, what we're hearing is that the Islamic Republic was killing people so that the people get scared and don't come back out. But now people who weren't going out in the first wave, they have decided that they're going to go back. They're going to join the next round of the protest because they have lost somebody. And the Iranian people cannot accept this high of a price and then nothing to show for it. The main thing the Iranian people are waiting for is the command of Princess of Pahlavi, right? But another thing that they're waiting for is to see whether America and Israel are going to attack or not, right? Some Iranians are very, very angry that they haven't showed up yet. There are some Iranians who are very, very angry, but other Iranians are talking about the fact that they're going to see what the attack is going to be and how much is it going to weaken the Islamic Republic, and then also they're, as we're speaking, they're planning the next wave, and this time they're coming. So if the first wave of the revolution was with the goal of overwhelming the regime and making them join the people, it seems like it, and we don't know, we have to see. It seems like the second wave is being designed for killing whoever, right? So the first wave was like, we come out, we're too many, they're going to see that we're so high, so they're going to be like, okay, let's join the people, there's no way to end this. But this time they're coming out to kill. That's what this seems like people are planning on to do, to just overwhelm them and then get their hands on them and turn them into pieces. All right, and they're getting ready for that. And even if the attack from United States and Israel doesn't come, they're determined to do something themselves. They're just waiting to see if there's going to be an attack that weakens the Islamic Republic, so that they come after that, maybe. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And next is Sami.
Thank you, guys.
Sami, one.
Demi?
Sami, two. Okay, Amy.
Amy?
Amy,
Yeah,
are
can
you
you hear
here?
me?
Here you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Okay, so obviously, thank you for taking my question. I'm in the United States, so I'm seeing this from the US perspective, and I'm watching everything else that's going on within the United States itself and watching Canada.
Amy?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so anyway, I'm in the US and I'm seeing this from a different perspective. I think there's a lot more going on on a larger global, bigger picture kind of thing. I do know that help is coming, obviously. I don't know what
Oh,
I don't know what it's going to look like, but my question is for the people in Iran, when this is over and they've got their country back, what are they going to do for, and this is like putting the cart before the horse, but how are they, what are they going to do for money? How are they going to exist? Like, how does anybody, I have no idea, like, how this is going to work, you know? Does that make
okay.
sense?
No, yeah, yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it's not putting the cart before the horse, because I think as an American, right? If your
Mhm.
country is getting involved in something, you need to be asking about, like, well, how is this going to, what is it going to be the result of all this, right? Like, you're an American taxpayer.
No, no, not
You're
I'm not coming from like, I don't care how it affects me. I'm worried about how the people of Iran are going to pay for things. How are they going to support
okay.
themselves? Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering.
All right. I mean, we have a lot of oil and gas, right? So we're going to be selling that at a good price, because right now China is basically taking it at discount prices. So
Right.
the sanctions, so we have a lot of oil and gas, so that's going to go a long way, right?
Right.
So we're going to, given the sanctions are going to be removed hopefully soon, we're going to
Uh-huh.
be able to sell that at market prices rather than
Mhm.
discounted prices to China. We have a lot of natural I'm gonna leave the best for last. This is not the most important thing, right?
Okay.
We have a lot of natural resources, a lot of natural
Yes.
resources. We have a rich history and culture, which is
Right.
going to be a major source of tourism for us. I'm
Yeah.
expecting a lot of Israeli tourists, especially as well, because we have a lot of sites that Israelis would have been dying to visit, a
Cool.
major part of their history as well. A lot of Jewish history is in Iran, especially the tomb of Cyrus the Great,
Yeah. Right.
and also Esther, that her tomb as well is in Iran as well, so they want to visit that as well. So so there's a lot of tourism. Like, we have four seasons, we have a lot of historical sites, we have a lot of beautiful beaches, so much to come to visit. So that's going to be a major source as well. But I
Mhm.
think most importantly is the most important resource that we have is the Iranian people, right?
Right.
The Iranian people are very educated, they're very entrepreneurial, they're very hardworking, they're very eager to be connected to the rest of the world, to trade with the rest of the world, to contribute to the rest of the world. I mean, for example, as an American, you might have noticed how contributing Iranians have been in America, right?
Oh
Look at
yeah, for
the finance sector, the tech sector. You could see that wherever they're kind of like
just
Jews
even in
to
the
some extent.
communities, the interpersonal relationships with Iranians in communities that I've lived in, how different it.
Oh, you got muted again, but yeah,
Yeah, did it. But
go on.
anyway, yeah. No, just
Yeah,
it's a very deep kind of like loving,
yeah.
wonderful
So,
thing.
I think the most important resource of every society is not its natural resources, it's its human resources, right? Because a
Excellent.
lot of
Yeah.
people, yeah, a lot of people think like wealth is something that gets transferred from for one person to another. Wealth is something
Mhm.
that is created, right? And
Right,
you
right,
create wealth. So natural resources are the wealth that you have, right? But your
right,
human resources are the health that you could generate. And wealth generation is more important than the wealth that you have. And because the Iranian people have the proper values and the proper mindset and the proper amount of ambition and the proper education, I think after we get to a stable situation, I think wealth generation is not going to be an issue in Iran.